Hi Nikita, welcome on Yourpedia.
Hi, thank you so much for having me here, sir.
Okay, so Nikita, you are presently pursuing your PhD in United States in university. I believe Texas Tech University.
Yeah.
And Nikita, you have spent 2 years in that course now. So I'll be interacting with you and knowing more about that. And also, Nikita, you are doing wonderful work. You are spreading a lot of information and awareness among student community, not only in India, all over the world through your social media platforms. So I'll be discussing about that. I keep watching your, lot of such messages which you keep on posting, and you tell not only about academics but also the life of students, international students in United States, and you have a very big fan following also. So Nikita, I'll be discussing in entirety all these things with you today. So I start with your background. Please tell us which part of India you are, or from where you got your graduations, post graduation, and where are you, which department, which research area you are pursuing your PhD presently?
Yeah, so I am actually from Haryana, a very small town, like a village from Kharenti, which is near Rohtak.
Okay.
And I did my graduation from Jeend, one of like government college. And then I applied for IIT JAM. I qualified it. And then I
Mm,
got my master's from NIT Srinagar in
mm.
chemistry.
Okay.
And then I started applying for PhD positions in US or and also in like different countries also. And then I
Okay.
got one position in here in Texas Tech University, which is in USA. So currently I'm enrolled as a PhD student in chemistry department here, and my research background is in polymer chemistry.
Okay, so Nikita, before I go forward, I have a query related to the exam which you wrote JAM for IIT. Many of the students they do their BSc in physics, chemistry, biology, basic sciences. That is a 3 years course. Then they do their MSc, which is 2 years course, and then they aspire to join PhD programs abroad. In your
Mhm.
case, you did MTech. So can you clarify this thing for students, like those who are doing BSc, MSc, should they go for MTech, or whether they should go after BSc for MTech, JAM and all? Please tell that about that route.
Yeah, I just want to clarify that I did not do MTech, it was MSc. It was
Okay,
in chemistry only. So I did 3 years of bachelor's in science. So I
okay.
had all maths, chemistry, and physics. So I was
Mhm.
like a non medical BSc. There was
Okay.
no specialization.
Okay.
So from there, I decided to specialize for my master's in chemistry. So I decided to give IIT JAM in chemistry.
Okay, so
Yeah.
again, my query is there, Nikita. That is like, you can do MTech also, I believe, through GATE then in IITs. So is that required, or after BSc and MSc, when you get into PhD in United States, is it direct PhD or is it PhD after masters? How that differentiates?
Actually, if you want to do direct PhD, then your bachelor's needs to be like 4 years course.
Mhm.
But when you do like bachelor's of science, like BSc, it is
Okay,
usually 3 years. So it is not, so you're not eligible to apply for direct PhD
okay,
because it
okay.
needs to be like 4 years for that.
Mm. So when the student is asking, like, should I go for MTech after MSc, sir, or directly I can go for PhD? What is your answer to that?
If someone is doing like a BTech or an engineering course and their bachelor is or undergrad is 4 years, then they can skip the master's part and they
Masters.
can
Mm,
apply for direct
mm,
PhD. Yeah, because they're
mm,
eligible for it. But I think now, even in India, the like the bachelor's is also like for all kind of bachelors are 4 years now, isn't it?
Still, no, but still, actually, you are talking about National Education Policy 2020. But
Uh
Nikita,
huh.
still, it is not being implemented everywhere,
Okay.
evolving. It is gradually evolving. You are right, to the extent that yes, some university, especially private deemed universities, they have changed their curriculum and they have started now coming out with a 4 years course. But
Mm-hmm.
the universities which have little rigid curriculum structure, So we still find that particular course of BSc, that is 3 years course only. Okay, Nikita, now a comparison between US and Europe for science students, those who are BSc plus MSc, 3 years
Mhm.
plus 2 years course. So getting into PhD, in case you have any kind of information and knowledge about that, like Europe and US, you get equally opportunity, or US, European universities say that no, BSc 3 years, 2 years MSc, you will get less opportunities. What is the situation there?
No, I don't think so that there will be less opportunities if you do in Europe or
Hmm.
US. Like the
Hmm.
opportunities will be
Same.
similar. I think
Hmm.
the only main difference between Europe and US is that Europe's PhD duration is smaller. It's usually
Okay.
like 3 years only.
Yeah.
But for US, it is normally 5 years.
Okay, good. Now, Nikita, coming to your again the education in India and abroad. So you got educated in NIT, NIT Srinagar. It's a beautiful small campus
Mhm.
next to Dal Lake. So it's a beautiful
Yeah.
campus, and you got educated in Haryana also, and now you are in US University. So my question to you is very straight: why you think a student should aspire to go abroad in any country for pursuing his PhD?
when I when someone goes for PhD, they don't have to pay the tuition fees because PhD is usually fully funded. So they don't have to worry about like paying tuition fees or applying for some loans and things like that. So it becomes really easy. They get stipends and they can survive on those stipends. So it becomes easy like that. And also when you are going abroad, you'll be experiencing like international culture, you'll evolve as a person also because you're going to experience a lot of things. So I
Mm-hmm.
think personality wise it is also good, also like the educational wise it's really good, and there are a lot of research opportunities also.
Okay. Now coming to your research area in chemistry, please very briefly tell us. Though I'll have a dedicated session with you, Nikita, on that. Like, what are you doing in chemistry and what is the research area? But very, very briefly, what is the research domain?
I can't really talk about that much about my research area. That's what my PI has like told me not to talk too much about it. But overall, my research is in nanochemistry and in polymer chemistry. Like it's combined.
Okay,
So
but Nikita, can you at least inform the viewers or students, like when it comes to chemistry, what are the promising areas of research in chemistry? If you can share that with the students.
I think there are so many areas like how you can integrate AI models into
Mm-hmm.
like machine learning models in
Mm-hmm.
chemistry, or how like different. I I think it might be like personal, but I really
Mm-hmm.
love like the material chemistry aspect of it, that you
Okay.
integrate the theoretical chemistry into like how it is being implemented in application based.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that one.
Okay.
I,
Now,
is it might be just a personal thing.
yeah, obviously, it is personal because your interest, your liking is always personal, and I strongly
Hmm.
believe that candidate should give his interest and inclination the priority. That should be the number one. And many students ask, sir, what area should we proceed with? Which area should we choose so that we get opportunities? And I strongly believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, that there are opportunities. If you give your 100% in any field, there are opportunities. You need to do
Yeah.
justice with whatever you're doing, and you can only do justice with something if you like that. So ask yourself, I mean, when you do BSc and when you do masters, so you need to ask yourself like what area you really like. As you said, it is a personal thing, and so obviously you need to proceed in that direction.
Yeah, I
Now,
also
Nikki.
believe in that. Like, for example, if you are interested in, like, for say, theoretical chemistry, like PCAM
Okay.
chemistry,
Hmm.
but someone tells you that no, 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 you should follow like the
Ah,
material
ah,
chemistry. You should
hmm,
go into
hmm,
industry. You'll get more
hmm.
opportunities, but you will not enjoy it as much. So
Yes,
you will
yes.
not put that much effort. So
Hmm, hmm, hmm,
I
hmm.
think it's yeah, you're right. It
Okay.
depends on
Okay,
you.
so Nikita, now this gives me an opportunity to ask you a very pertinent question जो बहुत से students पूछते हैं, irrespective of the field in which they want to proceed for their PhD. let's say some student has done masters, and once he is doing masters, then area of research gets fixed for PhD. He cannot change now, like I've done masters in this and I want to do PhD in this. So जिस field में आपने masters किया है, more or less you go in that field. So now suppose a student has done research in particular field, he's going for PhD abroad, and he asked me, sir, इस फील्ड में अपॉर्चुनिटीज मिल जाएंगी, कैन आई गेट अपॉर्चुनिटीज, करियर अपॉर्चुनिटीज, एंड आस्किंग अबाउट द जॉब अपॉर्चुनिटीज एंड ऑल. सो व्हाट इज योर आंसर टू दैट क्वेश्चन?
Actually, I don't think that अगर आपने किसी particular field में masters कर रखे, for example, if your masters had like thesis and you worked on like particular topic, because I also did in my masters, and I used to work in like inorganic chemistry, which was completely different topic that I am working on right
Oh,
now.
okay.
And I also have friends who had like who did masters in physics and now doing PhD in mechanical engineering. So
Hmm.
like I think you can change it. It just
Even
depends
after
on like,
masters, you can change in PhD. Is that what you're saying?
yeah, it
So,
actually, the thing here is that even in chemistry, like it depends on the professor and their research group. For example, if one of the professor is in mechanical engineering, but most of his work is about like biotechnology or like integrating the chemistry physics areas, so he will be recruiting students from different backgrounds.
okay.
So it depends on
So
that.
when a professor is hiring you, Nikita, then is he not, looking for your background in that particular field, or academic background or research background? As you are saying that, okay, it can be completely different. Then on what basis professor is going to take you? Like I take your case only. Like suppose you worked in your masters in particular field, right? And now professor is going to hire you for PhD, his research group. So is he not considering that, okay, this girl should have done some research work or academic subjects in the curriculum related to my field in which I am doing research?
No, I don't think so. When जब कोई भी like CV भी भेजता है किसी प्रोफेसर को, this is what I asked to my PI
Mm,
also, that what you actually look into. So he was like, we don't actually want a student like, obviously if you have experience in my field, really good, it will be helpful.
okay.
But even if you don't, and if you have like research experience, that shows that
Okay.
कि तुम लैब में आओगे और काम करोगे, एंड यू आर
Mhm.
हार्ड वर्किंग, यू हैव पुट
Yes.
सो मच एफर्ट इन इट.
Yes.
सो
Mm.
लाइक अगर कोई पीएचडी स्टार्ट कर रहा है, दे डोंट एक्सपेक्ट यू टू नो एवरीथिंग.
Yes. Yes.
So
Mm.
even if you don't have, if you have like
Mm.
zero experience in that field,
Mm.
you'll be fine.
And maybe professor may be thinking that, okay, she has done work in this field and that particular knowledge will be utilized in her, interdisciplinary research domain which she is going to pursue later on. Maybe that also is the reason.
या आई मीन इफ सम अगर किसी ने किसी भी फील्ड में रिसर्च की हुई है, दैट मीन्स कि मतलब दे हैव दैट थिंकिंग कैपेबिलिटी, कि वो
Mm.
सोच सकते हैं उस रिसर्च के बारे में.
Mm.
दे कैन राइट अबाउट इट, दे
Mm.
कैन लाइक plan
Mm.
the experiments, they know
Mm.
how to plot the graphs and everything. So they are looking for that skill, not
Mm.
particularly about like a certain topic that they want to
Mm.
work on.
Okay. So another my question to you is again, which is doubt in the minds of so many students. Can I get such opportunity? Which maybe people like you have got, like Nikita got into PhD and she's get into some good university, getting fully funded scholarships. So can I also get it? And what is required? What should be there in my credentials so that I am suitable for this and I should start exploring the opportunities. तो क्या parameters हैं वो निकिता? जैसे suppose I'm a student and I want to see before I start the process, and there is a cost also incurred because when you start writing IELTS exam, when you apply, there is a cost incurred into that. So वो करने से पहले I want to get a certain कि हाँ मेरे पास वो credentials हैं और मेरे को opportunity मिल सकती है. तो can you very briefly tell कि एक candidates के अंदर क्या credentials होने चाहिए before he thinks that okay I'll start the process?
I think they should focus on getting internship opportunities either in like different universities or different labs, or it could be in like in different like certain industries or like different companies. They
Mm,
can try to have like internship
mm, mm,
experience. try to get like some publications, if not publications, at least book chapters
Okay.
they can do, or like get some experience of like public speaking about the research, like go to
Okay.
some conferences. It could be like regional conference or a
Hmm.
national conference or
Okay.
international conference, depending on what kind of opportunities you have.
वंडरफुल सो आपको थोड़ा सा एक्सपोजर होना चाहिए इस चीज का और यू हैव टू डू
Mm-hmm.
दैट ओके सो माय
Yeah.
क्वेश्चन वाज आल्सो रिलेटेड टू is there any criteria for academic credentials like CGPA या आपके रिसर्च पब्लिकेशंस ये भी कुछ सीवी में रिफ्लेक्शन होना चाहिए उसका कोई क्राइटेरिया है क्या
Yeah, I mean, GPA matter करती है, but
ओके
it is not the only criteria what they are
अंडरस्टूड
looking at. So
अंडरस्टूड
it shouldn't be like so low that you just barely pass your exams.
so what is
So
that number so low that is less than 7 less than 6.5 or what
out of 4 GPA, it should be above 3.
okay
Yeah.
75% plus
Yeah.
okay
It should
mm-hmm.
be like that. And
Mm-hmm.
if you have like less GPA, then your other experiences should be very, very high to be able to
Mm-hmm.
like.
Hmm. Okay, wonderful. Now I'm shifting the discussion towards your stay in US for the last 2 years now, Nikita. And I see a lot of your videos on, you keep on publishing on social media platforms. First, I would like to know when did you think about when did you open your YouTube channel? What is the name of that YouTube channel so that many of the viewers who are listening to us they can also get benefited from your published videos already so, when did you think of starting your YouTube channel? What is the name of that, and why you thought of starting your YouTube channel?
Yeah, so name of my channel is Nikita Gill Vlogs, and I started my YouTube channel about 2 years ago. And the main thing that was like when I was going through like some YouTube videos, I wasn't able to find any relevant video that was telling me like exact information what I was looking for. So
Mm,
to bridge that gap, I wanted to start my own YouTube channel
mm.
to like
So,
give information for free to people.
okay. So, what is the typical theme of your videos, Nikita? On what theme do you make the videos?
Okay, I first started making videos like the educational type, and then I
Mm.
was like, this is I keep on saying like same thing again and again and again. So
It's
I
becoming
so
boring.
I
Yeah.
switched
Yeah.
to making like my daily vlogs, but then
Mm,
it also got like monotonous because my
mm,
life is just like I come home, then go to lab, and then come back home. So it is so
mm,
monotonous. So
mm,
I it's
mm,
just like that. It's very
mm.
boring.
Okay, okay. But that is reflecting that life of a PhD scholar is a boring. Do you agree? Is it boring? Or can you make it interesting also?
Okay. Life is boring, but not the research. If you like the research, like in my life, only the research part is interesting.
Okay.
Otherwise, life is boring because you just.
No, but what about weekends, Nikita? Like Saturday, Sunday, do you people slog in the labs? Do you work in the labs? Or weekends pay? Why can't you have a lot of friends and you can make it interesting the way people in the job they do it? Like this is a very big question, and that is stopping many of the capable individuals who are temperament-wise research oriented from pursuing PhD. They consider it boring. But my question to you is, why can't you make it as interesting as the job is?
I
Suppose.
have like different perspective of it. It's just
Hmm.
that people like it to be interesting and they show it on social media that it is interesting, but it's not. It's just
That
like
is
the
true.
basic life. You just
Mm,
go to lab and work, and if you love your research, you have to go back to like on weekends also because it is
mm.
your degree.
Okay. Mm.
Obviously you have like friends, and if there is a function or a festival or something like that, you do get out and also
Mm,
enjoy. And
mm,
if you are doing PhD, you go to different conferences,
mm,
you
mm,
go and travel places, so that is
mhm,
also included. But for
mm.
that you need to like work hard and be in
Yes.
lab to be able to
Mm,
enjoy that. If
mm.
you are okay, I don't want to go too deep into it. But yeah.
Okay, that's okay. No, Nikita, tell me one thing. You said that you need to work hard. So can you tell us more? you quantify that, like how much hard work are you doing in PhD? And if I assume that your PhD is gonna last for 4.5 years or 5 years, how this hard work is gonna be? Like first 2 years, is it easy and then it is going to be more, or how it is? And what about the weekends and all? So typically in the life of a PhD scholar in United States, hard work component कैसा होता है? कितना hard work करना पड़ता है?
You have to do hard work if you are doing PhD or you are doing masters, like you are doing anything. अगर तुम घर से बाहर निकले हो तो you have to do hard work because
It should be,
तुम घर
yes.
पे नहीं बैठे
Agree,
हो.
agree.
Yeah, but like I'll just talk about my life and not other people's like PhD life because they might have like different
Hmm.
perspective than me.
Understood.
So
Hmm.
how my life looks like is that I go to lab on weekends when I'm required to. It's not
Mhm.
like I have to be there on
Mhm.
every weekend. If there is
Okay.
like a certain deadline, then I have to be there.
Okay.
And that is my responsibility to be there.
Yes.
No
Yes.
one is like forcing me to be there, but
Mm,
it's
mm, mm,
is so
mm,
that is
mm,
how.
mm. Okay. My question was like in number of hours also. I know it is very stupid kind of question, but that is the question. कि
Mhm.
कितने घंटे मेरे को मेहनत करनी पड़ती है? Because this is the question normally students ask me. So I thought of passing it on to you.
Okay, again, it also depends from individual to individual, also from
Mm,
lab to lab, and from
mm,
university to university, also.
mm, mm.
So, for me, usually my day starts from 8:30 and ends about like 7ish
Okay. Almost
at night.
11 hours. Huh?
Yeah,
That includes traveling, breakfast, everything, right?
yeah, everything.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Mm-hmm.
like
Okay.
a normal day.
Okay.
Usually you have to just be in lab like whole night if you have set up like a reaction that takes like overnight and you have to be there to monitor it. Like it just depends on days how like कैसे तुम करोगे. It just depends on that how
अच्छा,
much is required
एक और
from
क्वेश्चन
you.
मैं आपसे पूछूंगा निकिता, दैट इज वेरी रेलिवेंट क्वेश्चन. जो मेरे बहुत से पीएचडी स्टूडेंट्स, देयर आर सो मेनी पीएचडी स्टूडेंट्स आई हैव इन इंडिया एंड अब्रॉड, एंड आई फाइंड लाइक एक चीज जो इंडिया के स्टूडेंट्स को बहुत बॉदर करती है, वो लैब के अंदर का टॉक्सिक एनवायरनमेंट होता है. पीपल रिलेटेड इश्यूज, आई मस्ट से, इन इंडिया, लाइक वो पीयर से हो सकता है, वो स्टाफ से हो सकता है, वो प्रोफेसर से भी हो सकता है, वो मैनेजमेंट से भी हो सकता है, इंस्टीट्यूट से भी हो सकता है. व्हेन यू गो फॉर कॉन्फ्रेंस, व्हेन यू आर नॉट गेटिंग मनी, इट कैन बी फ्रॉम मैनेजमेंट और पीजी सेक्शन और समथिंग. पीपल रिलेटेड इश्यूज वो उनकी लाइफ का एक मेन ट्रबल होता है. दैट इज, हाउ इज दैट इन यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स?
um I'm very lucky in that I have never had any issues like that to be able to comment. I even my friends haven't had any sort of
Okay.
like discomfort in this
Okay.
aspect. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Now coming to opportunity after PhD. I know it is little early for me to ask you this question. You are in the middle of a PhD, but one of the questions which comes into the mind of the students is, let's say we invest 4 or 5 years of our life after PG, and we do a lot of hard work in PhD. Can we get opportunities, and what kind of opportunities do we get? And please suggest both ways. Like suppose somebody has decided to stay back in US, what are the opportunities? And suppose after getting educated from US, you want to come back home, then what are the opportunities?
I'll talk about chemistry field. So if you're doing a PhD in chemistry or for say in physics, like the science field I'm talking
Yes.
about. So there are two ways that you can go. Either you can go to industry or you can go to academia. If you have to go to academia, then you have to network really well when you go to conferences to able to get like the postdoc positions, so that you can pursue. Or in industry you can go like based on what kind of research you do, or like depending on what is the availability. I think
Mm,
I already have an interview of one of my friend who
mm.
got who did PhD from chemistry and now is working in industry. So if someone is
Okay.
interested, they can watch that. About
Mm,
it, he have explained it like really well how the process works and everything.
mm,
So
mm,
that will be helpful. And if someone wants to go back to India, so
mm,
they can. again apply for either in academia or either in industry.
Mhm.
In academia, I'm not sure. Do we need like net JRF to be
No,
cleared
no, not.
to be able to
See,
get?
no, there are different educational university system in India. When we talk about IIT, NIT, that is not required. But when
Mhm.
it comes to state universities, state colleges, there can be written exam also. Like if you want to become assistant professor in some universities, which recruitment is through Public Service Commission of the states, then obviously they go for a written exam. And also, Nikita, the inductment in India is at the level of lecturer, it is at the level of assistant professor. Now, I was seeing it is associate professor also. When it comes to the inductment at associate professor, they ask for PhD. When it comes to lecturer, sometimes they don't ask, they ask for written exam. So, yes, in
Mhm.
government system, if I tell you, private university obviously will not ask you that. Private university, they are very big and good private universities in India, and they are growing every day. So that they don't ask for it, they only see your credentials. The net exam and all, they may not ask it. But other like
Mhm.
IIT, NIT, if you want to become professor in IIT, obviously they will not ask for net, because that will not be required. Now certainly postdoctoral fellowship is a criteria for that. They ask you for
Oh,
that.
okay.
That is how it
Also,
is.
I'm not sure, but I have read it somewhere that even if you want to get positions in IITs or NITs after you get your PhD or like postdoc also, to be able to like waive that net JRF criteria, you need to get your PhD from like top universities. I think it is like ranked under 500
Now,
QS ranking.
no, that is again, Nikita, as you know, in India, IIT system itself now is three generation: first generation IIT, second generation IIT, and third generation IITs. Now, when it comes to first generation IITs, which old IITs and all, obviously they consider that IITs are among top 200 institutes and top 300 institutes QS ranked. So they prefer that your PhD should be from top 500, because that is where IITs fit in, right? That is what the criteria they think of. But now you think of third generation IIT. Let's say IIT Tirupati or IIT Palakkad or IIT Jammu, they cannot dictate those terms, because IITs, these IITs itself are not in that particular league as of now. And I know many of my students, and I know many of known people, professors with whom I interact. They've got their PhD, very good professors, very good research area, but the QS rank may be beyond 1200. So that is not a problem. And you will agree with me that it is not the QS rank of the university only. It is like the professor with whom you are working and the research area in which you are doing. And
Yeah.
Nikita, there are some very peculiar cases also. One of my students, he did his PhD from IIT Kanpur. He went to US for postdoctorate, and presently he is working as professor, assistant professor in Central Florida, University of Florida. So the case, like reverse case, doing PhD in
Mhm.
IIT and becoming professor in United States. So
Yeah.
purely on the basis of his research work. So I strongly believe that it is a research work which is considered. Directors consider that, and professors consider that before they induct you for a teacher. That is the criteria, I think. But yes,
Yeah. Yeah.
QS rank, they think they're fussy about that. First generation IITs, not other IITs, I suppose. Now, Nikita, last I think we have interacted all this, and we should not extend it more. This thing, but I'll request you that the kind of informations which you keep on sharing, the kind of things you keep on sharing, you keep on doing that activity for many of the viewers on Europedia also, because that really motivates them. Not only information teachers like me can also provide, but people like you who are students see you as a role model. Like someone who is pursuing PhD, someone who is telling about the lab, what actually activities are going on. I saw one of your blog in which you were now in the lab, busy doing something in the proper your dress. So those kind of things motivate students. So keep making those videos, keep inspiring students, and keep telling them all the informations also, right?
Yeah, thank you so much. And I'm sorry I'm being so anxious today. So I might have like, I'm just, I'm not even able to speak in Hindi as good.
Not a problem, because we need to send the message. Language is just a language, so we need to send
Mhm.
message, and it has gone. Okay, Nikita,
Yeah.
catch you again. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.